I spend most of my free time running trails. And depending on how far I'm going, what the weather's been like, and what the terrain is like, I regularly rotate between a few different pairs of shoes. But there's one pair I've been reaching for more and more on a regular basis. And that's the Dynafit Ultra 100s. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly why I've become such a big fan of them. I've been wearing the Ultra 100s for the past couple of weeks, logging about 75 miles across the rugged, rooty, rocky areas of the Blue Ridge Mountains. These are high cushion shoes that do very well when you're putting on the training miles, but also are very well suited to those half marathon up to 100 mile plus ultra marathons. At just under 11 ounces, these shoes come in a bit heavier than my other trail running shoes, but they didn't feel clunky. Dynafit says that the materials in the midsole come in about 20% lighter than your typical EVA midsole, and it boasts an energy return of more than 10%. And despite the robust cushioning with just over 30 millimeters of stack height, I felt confident in my ground contact throughout the technical runs. Part of that is thanks to how grippy these shoes are. The Vibram Mega Grip outsole and 4.5 millimeter chevron lug design were perfect for more technical trail sections, even when things became more of a rock scramble than a trail run. And because they are wider and provide more stable footing than, say, Dynafit's very narrow alpine shoes, which I also reviewed, it's clear the Ultra 100s can excel on smoother single track. The nice rocker design with some curvature at the heel and toes, and the great responsiveness helped to really guide me through some faster parts of the terrain. The Ultra 100s are a shoe that were born and honed in Italy's Dolomites. So overall, they've done very well in opening up a lot of versatility for my runs. There were some other really interesting details to these shoes. At the rear of the upper, the Ultra 100s have what Dynafit calls a heel preloader, which is essentially a cinch-like feature that pulls your heel into place and helps prevent blowout. As the shoe flexes, it stretches the preloader, which allows for more energy return on your stride and a more locked-in fit. I loved that because I have especially narrow heels, so slippage is a problem in many pairs of shoes. I also really like the seamless tongue construction, which is particularly good for keeping out dirt and other debris on the more gnarly terrain I tend to run on. It also helps to even out the pressure from the laces so that I never developed any hot spots across my instep. In fact, these shoes were wildly comfortable mile after mile. Because of some calluses I have, I often put moleskin on a few spots ahead of longer runs, but not once did I have to do that in these shoes. They hugged my feet well and kept my feet from sliding. And there wasn't any foot fatigue, either during the run or the day after. For everything I loved about these shoes, there are two drawbacks I have to mention. Now, where I live, humidity and stream crossings are a way of life. And these shoes tended to retain moisture more than most other trail shoes I had. And that means because it took more than 24 hours for them to dry out, I rarely was able to wear them on back-to-back days. The other downside happened the second time I wore them. Now, I must have caught my foot on a rock or root or whatnot because the sidewall got a small tear in it, something that has never before happened so soon after debuting a pair of shoes. Thankfully, it hasn't affected performance in the 50 plus miles I've done since. Dynafit has a solid lifetime guarantee program, but because this hole was more of a wear and tear issue, it wouldn't be covered by that warranty, unfortunately. The Dynafit Ultra 100 first came out a couple of years ago and really helped to put Dynafit's trail running offerings on the map. This newest iteration was done with a lot of input from trail racers and other off-grid athletes. And this generation is every bit as solid as the previous one. With all the innovations and everything that I love about this, the Ultra 100s are a shoe that I would highly recommend.